Hi everyone, I'm Raj and I welcome you all to the episode 3 of my networking essentials course. This episode is on networking fundamentals. I'm going to keep this episode very short and precise because I'm going to explain some of the terms which you need in order to know the networking field. Okay, some terminologies are very important which I'm going to discuss in this particular video, and if you don't know these terms then you might face a lot of difficulties in the upcoming future in your networking career. Okay, so if you are wanting to make a career in networking, then these are some of the terms that you need to know in order to get started. Okay, you need the initiation. Just I'm going to initiate the this ignition point in this particular video. Okay, so let's get started with today's video. Now the first thing that we will learn about is what is a computer network. Okay, now you already know what is a computer network. In your day-to-day life, you communicate with a lot of people. You communicate with your friends, with your family members, with your colleagues, and you are basically forming a network. And when we are talking about this network in the field of computers, we are talking about computer networks, right? So what is a computer network? What is the definition of computer network? A computer network is a collection of interconnected nodes. Remember this term, nodes, very important. A computer network is a collection of interconnected nodes that are linked together to facilitate communication and sharing of resources. Okay, in order to share resources, in order to share some data, in order to share some information amongst each other, we need to connect, right? We need to connect, and that's where we are forming a computer network, when the devices in a network is communicating amongst each other. So these are the nodes. Okay, so this computer is a node, this mobile phone is a node, this tablet is a node, this laptop is a node. Here we have a router. I don't know what is this, but some network device. Okay, when these are connected via communication links, so you can see these communication links amongst these resources, right? So these, when they are connected amongst each other via communication links, we call these as nodes. The devices which take part in a communication, which take part in the network communication, are called as nodes. So here, this is a node, this is a node, this is a node, this is a node, and this is a node. These are all nodes, and they are connected amongst each other via communication links in order to share some resource, some information, some data amongst each other, right? So when the computers or devices communicate amongst each other and they form a computer network, we call these devices as nodes or end devices or hosts, or we will learn about that in the next slide. Okay, so next, let's move on to the next slide. So the next slide is on what is a node. Very important. Okay, in a computer network, a node refers to any device or point on the network where data can be sent, received, and processed. Okay, so a computer network is in a computer network, a node refers to any device or any point on a computer network where data can be sent, received, and processed. So where we can send data, we can receive data, we can process data, we can store data, we can analyze data. Whenever I'm talking, I'm using this term data. So what is a data? We will talk about data in the next slide, but for now just know that data is basically any piece of information which we share, which we send, which we receive, as well as which we store, which we process. These are all called as data, right? So in a computer network, a node is what? A node refers to a device or a point on the network. It refers to a device or a point on the network where data can be sent, received, and processed. Nodes can take various forms, including computers, servers, routers, switches, printers, and other network devices, right? So nodes can take various forms, including computers, servers, routers, switches, printers, and other network devices. Okay, so basically each node in a computer network has a unique address or identifier, such as IP address or MAC address. So every device, every node, every device, every host node has a lot of synonyms. Okay, so we can call a node as an end host, we can call it as an intermediary device, we can call a node as the end device, we can call node as node itself, right? So do not get confused where words like end devices, end hosts, nodes, then your intermediary devices, network devices. These are used, these are all nodes. Okay, so every node in a network is identified by an IP address, just like you are identified by your unique ID of your Aadhaar card. Similarly, a network device like a node is identified by the help of an IP address or a MAC address. Okay, we will learn about IP address and MAC address in the upcoming videos, but just for now, just know that IP address is just like the unique address of your identity card. Okay, or your Aadhaar card, okay, which is used to distinguish it from other nodes on the network. Other terms referred to nodes are, just forgot to write down the names. I already told you the names, okay. So end hosts, end devices, nodes, hosts, then we have intermediary devices, we have network devices. Whenever we are using such terminologies, we basically refer to a node. Okay, so node can be of two types. One is the end devices and one is the intermediary devices. We will learn about end devices and intermediary devices in the upcoming future, but just for now, know that the end devices are the devices like your mobile phone, your computer, your desktop, your laptop, tablets or iPhones, whatever your devices you are using in order to send or receive data. Those are called as end devices, and intermediary devices are the network devices, are the components, are the network components, like for example hub, a switch, a router, an access point, a firewall, a gateway. These are all intermediary devices. Okay, so all the network devices are called as the intermediary devices, and the devices with which we share information, we share resources, we share data are called as end devices. Okay, but apart from everything, just nodes is a broader term which is used for end devices, intermediary devices, hosts, end devices. I'm again and again I'm telling this to you because this is very important to remember these things. Okay, so just remember that nodes is a broader term which is used for end devices, end hosts, intermediary devices, end devices. These are all referring to nodes. Okay, just till now just know this. Okay, now the next slide is on data. What is a data? In simple terms, data refers to information or facts that can be collected, stored and analyzed. And information that or facts that can be collected, stored or analyzed is considered to be as data. We all know what is a data. In our day-to-day life, we share data in WhatsApp. When we are chatting, we are sharing our data, right? We are sharing data. Where is this place located? Like, give me the data of where is this place located. Give me the data. Give me the data. Give me the data of all the marks the students have scored in their board examination. Give me the data of today's climate. So these are all data, right? And the unit of data is what? The unit of data is bit. Remember this. Unit of data is bit. Okay. Now let's move on to the next slide. Modes of data flow. In a computer network, data is flowing between one node and the other, right? So this is a node and this is a node. And when we are talking about exchange of data between nodes, we are talking about data flow. Why? Because when one device is sending a data to the other device, there is a transfer of data. There is a flow of data, right? So this flow is called as a mode of data flow. And this mode of data flow can be of three types. Okay, the first one is simplex, the second one is half duplex, and the third one is full duplex. So how data is getting transferred from one node to the other is basically the mode of data flow. And this can be simplex, half duplex and full duplex. These are the three modes of data flow. Okay, now the first one, that is simplex. What is simplex mode of communication? In simplex mode of communication, it is unidirectional, which means that data flows in one direction only. Which means data flows in one direction. When we are talking about simplex mode of communication, we are talking about one-way communication, that one of the two devices taking part in the networking can transmit and the other can only receive. The other device can only receive. Like for example, in this example which you can see, this is a keyboard and this is a monitor. When we are giving input to the computer, we are giving it via the keyboard, and it is one directional, it is only unidirectional, right? And the monitor is showing us the data what we have entered using the keyboard, right? And that is basically a simplex mode of communication. Like for example, when we give input via the keyboard and the monitor displays it, it is a simplex mode of communication. Okay, in a simplex mode of communication, one will only give and the other will only take. The other can't give, the other can't give an input. Both the devices taking part in the network, only one can send and the other can only receive. That device cannot send. Okay, so it's unidirectional. Next one is half duplex. In half duplex, one can send and the other can receive, as well as the other can send and the other one can receive. So both can happen, but not at the same time. Okay, so in half duplex mode, each station can both transmit and receive, but not at the same time. So in a half duplex mode of communication, both the stations can receive as well as transmit, but not at the same time. So you can see the example in a walkie-talkie. So in the roads, when you see the traffic police, they usually use the walkie-talkies, and they say something and they say over. And the police officer on the other end, they say something, then they say over. Why they terminate their speech by saying over? They are saying this because they are when they are talking something, the other person on the sitting on the other side, who is basically listening, that person cannot speak. So when the person sitting on this side, when they will say and they will tell over, the other person sitting on the other side will understand that the person has completed their speech, and that person will commence their speech. Okay, so this is basically a half duplex mode of communication. In a half duplex mode of communication, each station both transmit and receive, but not at the same time. Not at the same time they will transmit and receive. They can only transmit or they can only receive, but not at the same time. Okay, so one common example is the walkie-talkies, which the police officers use in the road, the cops use in the road. Okay, now the third one is basically full duplex mode of communication. Full duplex mode of communication is very easy going. You know, both the stations taking part in the network. Okay, another thing, station nodes, you can also call nodes as stations. Okay, that is another term which we can use. Nodes can also be called as stations, right? Not exactly stations, but you can call it as stations. Okay, so in full duplex, both stations can transmit and receive simultaneously. Simultaneously means at the same time. At the same time, both the nodes taking part in the communication can send and receive. Can send and receive at the same time. So you can see in this example, when we are talking via the mobile phone, when you are saying something, can't your friend say something at the same time? So when I am saying something, hello, how are you? So at the same time, your friend can also say something, right? At the same time, when you are saying hello, your friend can also say hello, right? So one common example is a mobile network. When two people are communicating over phone, both can talk and listen at the same time. So both can talk and listen at the same time. That particular mode of communication is called as a full duplex mode of communication. So I am ending this session in this particular slide. I hope you got the point. You got the entire things what I talked about in this particular video. I hope to meet you in the next video with a brand new content, with a brand new topics. Until then, goodbye.